primary care to virtually every medical specialty. For an appointment, call 423-778-DOCS. That's 778-DOCS.
Hey guys, this is Dan Good from Crown. Just reminding you that Crown Ram is Cleveland and Bradley County's Ram headquarters.
Are you unsure who can help with your website or Google search ads, Facebook ads, social media? Do you feel uncertain about who you can trust? Check us out at digitalsmart.marketing. That's digitalsmart.marketing. We can help you.
Hey, Andy Morris here. Join me along with my co-host on The Drive, presented by Hardees, weekdays at 5 p.m. on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. Cleveland and Bradley County's local sports show, weekdays at 5 on ESPN Cleveland 101.3.
From the Kia of Cleveland Studios, this is ESPN Cleveland 101.3, WCLE HD2 Cleveland, W267BI Cleveland, ESPN Cleveland 101.3.
The top of the hour is presented by Best Buy Metals, making the top of your house the best it can be. Visit bestbuymetalroofing.com.
It's time for The Drive on ESPN Cleveland 101.3, presented by Hardees. We will bring you nonstop sports news from the national and local scene and everything in between. So buckle up and join in on the conversation. It's The Drive.
Don't take no style. Got a thirst for killing.
Welcome back to The Drive. Andy Morris here along with Jim Gum, back in the building with us today. Jim?
Back in the building on a beautiful sunny day here in Cleveland. Or maybe it's not.
It is so nasty out.
Yeah, it's a little different out there today, but hey, listen, if you're out there driving around, slow it down.
Yeah.
Listen, I saw some people going, way over the speed limit. The conditions are, and it doesn't matter if you got really, really good tires. When the water's that heavy, you'll hydroplane.
Yeah.
So just slow it down a little bit. Take your time. Don't ruin your weekend by getting in a fender bender late on Friday. So just take your time. Listen to us. Enjoy us, and then go to the house and eat supper. Right?
I was about to say, Jim, they might be trying to hustle and get home so they don't have to listen to us for too long. But
well, yeah, there's always that too.
Yeah, definitely. We want you guys to take caution in this nasty, nasty weather, and it sure is nasty out today with the potential threat of severe storms.
Right.
So listen, if at any point we get interrupted during the national weather interruptions during this
from
broadcast,
Morristown.
From Morristown, which we all know where Morristown is just because of the National Weather Service.
It's his family founded this town,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay.
That's right, my family.
Yeah.
But you can catch us now. We are streaming live on Facebook, mixtv.tv, on YouTube. So definitely there, if you want to avoid that, any interruption that happens possibly today, you can catch us on those platforms as well. Very excited to be streaming The Drive each and every day from 5 to 6, sometimes 6:15. Today's going to be a hard 6 o'clock day.
Right, exactly.
And with so much going on and talking about stuff going on, just here in the community, a lot going on. Yesterday, we had the opportunity to talk to new Ocoee Middle School head football coach John Weiss. He was hired a couple days ago for that position, and what a great interview that was with him. He's very excited for the opportunity. But we do have some breaking news, some stuff that has just kind of happened here within the last hour or two. We're going to have some cancellations with some ball games and things of that sort. But there's a leadership announcement from Bradley County Schools, and this is a statement from Bradley County Schools pertaining to the Walker Valley High School principal job.
Right.
As Dr. Candace Belt prepares to pursue an exciting new career opportunity, we want to express our heartfelt gratitude for her leadership and service at Walker Valley High School. Dr. Belt has made a lasting impact, and we wish her the very best in this next chapter. We're also proud to announce that Dr. Jeremy Jones, that's right, Dr. Jeremy Jones. I know a lot of people here in the community know Jeremy, Dr. Jones, as we'll refer to him. And it goes on to say that he has been named the new principal of Walker Valley High School. Dr. Jones brings a wealth of experience, a passion for student success, and a strong commitment to excellence in education. We're confident he will continue the Mustang tradition of pride, purpose, and progress. Please join us in thanking Dr. Belt and welcoming Dr. Jones to his new role. So that announcement from Bradley County Schools, new leadership at Walker Valley High School.
That's fun stuff, man. It's good to see that they've made the choice. fairly quickly. I thought it would take a little bit longer than this, but apparently the interview went well. I know that they talked to more than one person, obviously, and so good for them. Now he can get his feet wet as this year ends and prepare for the 2025-26 academic calendar. And of course, listen, the future is very, very bright there at Walker Valley. A lot of good things there. That's a great academic school. The athletics, we all know, is how good they have become in just about every sport. And so, yeah, good. I think it's a great hire there, and happy to see that they made that choice, and I feel good about this.
Yeah, Jeremy Jones is a great guy, and very excited to have him up at Walker Valley. And, we're talking about some coaching changes. You mentioned one before we went on air today, Greg Popovich, going over to the NBA for a second here, a longtime head coach of the San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah, most people probably know, but there may be a few out there that don't realize that Greg Popovich is the all-time leader in wins in NBA history. He's 1,422 wins, 869 losses, 5-time NBA champ with the Spurs. So, he was there for a long, long time. Of course, he had the little stroke not too terribly long ago, so this is not a big surprise. I got a trivia question. Where did Greg Popovich play college basketball? I did not know this.
Yeah, I have no clue. I'm going to throw out Georgetown.
Air Force
Academy.
How about
Okay,
that?
Good for him.
How about that?
Military guy.
Yeah, so who knew that?
That's pretty cool.
Where he was, but no, so like I said, not surprisingly that he would step down after a stroke like that. So, listen, he's up there in years, so it's good for him, though. Good for him.
Yeah, and so one thing you asked me before we went on air is, where do you think he ranks all time in NBA head coaches?
Yeah, that's a hard one. I'm not anti Greg Popovich. Okay, let me just preface this right there, but I don't have him in my top 5. I've got other guys. I think Pat Riley,
Red Auerbach, Phil Jackson.
Those 3 right there jump off the page.
Those have got to be right at the top.
Those are
I would
the top
assume.
3 in my book. I mean, I thought Pat Riley. I liked him a little bit more than anyone. But there again, then maybe it's just my era when he was leading the Showtime Lakers. I thought he was amazing. Of course, he did some great things as a GM there in Miami as well, and it had a little bit of a hiccup there when he was up there in New York. But I think
went on
Phil Jackson. You can say Phil Jackson's got the rings and so does.
Well, Pat Riley won a championship in Miami too,
and Red Auerbach does too.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, I'm a little bit biased, if you want to call it. Yes, and it is biased. I'm biased towards Pat Riley, so he would be my guy. What about you? Do you?
Yeah, I really like Phil Jackson. Just watching, growing up in the early '90s, watching that run with the Chicago Bulls, and then him going on to the Lakers and going on another run with Shaq and Kobe. Phil Jackson's probably my all-time favorite coach. When you go into ranking, I'd say it has to be between him and Red Auerbach, because Red was a guy that set the standard.
Oh Lord, him! I mean, he's got more championships. We all know that.
Yeah.
And probably will never be broken as far as all the championships he won. But still, I can't. I saw the tail end of Red Auerbach. I mean, I'm a lot older than you, so I remember him leading the Celtics back in the late 60s.
Jim, you didn't have to point that out to our listeners.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I've been blessed with a lot of birthdays. Okay, we'll just leave it at that. But no, so I'm a Pat Riley guy, but Phil Jackson would be right there. And Popovich probably right there on the fringe of 5 or 6, I guess, for me.
You know who I always liked, and they're not in this category, but I like the Van Gundys.
Oh, yeah.
Jeff Van Gundy, Stan Van Gundy.
Yeah, I like the Van Gundys, too. Listen, like I said, maybe I'm just a little bit – and I guess what it is because when you watch the Spurs, they were never like, oh, my gosh, I can't believe what amazing. They're like, well, they won again. They won. I don't know if they ever won back-to-back. They seemed like they'd win, then they'd miss a few years, then they'd win, miss a few years. And 5 times that happened. So they were one of those teams. I don't even know if you'd call it a dynasty, but they had some really good players, but never just all-time greats. I mean,
Robinson and Duncan are 2 pretty good ones.
Pretty good ones. But would you?
Well, I'm saying in terms of all time.
Duncan is what do they call him, Mister? Gosh, my mind just went blank. Fundamental, Mr. Fundamental.
No, he definitely was.
And so, he wasn't Shaquille O'Neal, he wasn't Wilt Chamberlain, wasn't Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, but he was so consistent.
Well, I think those two are on the all-time great list, but then after
Elijah
that,
won, no, not Elijah won, but Robinson, he was pretty dynamic.
Yeah.
Now, he was pretty dynamic.
After those two guys, though, like there were some role player type guys that had a few year spurts, spurs, no pun intended,
yes.
of being solid players like Tony Parker
right.
and Manu Ginobili and guys like that. But it was really Robinson that was the ace there at the beginning of Popovich's tenure, and then Tim Duncan as well.
Yeah.
So those two guys,
obviously head and shoulders better. But a lot of
it's not like the Lakers where you can name 10 guys,
right?
Yeah.
Guys that are all timers, that are Hall of Famers, and like I said, I guess that's my reason that I don't put them on the totem pole as high as I do some of those Lakers and Celtics and those Bulls teams back in the day. I put those Spurs teams are really good teams, but not all-time great teams. And I guess that's the reason I don't put Popovich as high. And maybe I should, because I'm sitting there going, they weren't that great, but they won championships. Maybe because he was such a great coach.
Yeah.
And it could be I'm just undervaluing.
He might have done a better coaching job than a lot of those guys with less stars.
Yeah.
Well, listen, more NBA playoff coverage going on. The Clippers beat the Nuggets with a 111-105 score, forcing a decisive Game 7 set for Saturday. And then also the Knicks beat the Pistons 116-113 to clinch that series. And now the Knicks are going to go on to face the team we're just talking about, Red Auerbach's team, the Boston Celtics. I believe that next round will start next week. And then tonight, the Warriors play the Rockets in Game 6. Golden State leads that series 3-2. Tip-off is at 9 p.m., and you can catch that game on TNT with some excellent pregame coverage from that crew over there on TNT.
Oh, they're more
Shaq and Chuck, man.
They're more entertaining than the game sometimes. But, if you look at it, I'm not the biggest NBA fan. I know you're not either, but right now I think it's between the Celtics and the Cavaliers as far as the team that's coming out of these. Now, the West, on the other hand, I think it's you could just pick anyone out, because I don't think there's a dominant team over there.
I do think it would be, you talk about the East. I think it would be pretty cool for Cleveland to get another title, this time without LeBron. I think that would mean a lot to them.
I know Carmen Lastoria is probably listening to us. I know Carmen Lastoria would love that, of course, over there at Lee University. But he's a big Cavs fan. But no, I think it would be neat. That's a really good basketball team there. They put it to Miami. I mean, they just dominated that series. No, so I think the Cavaliers and the Celtics look to me like they may be the two best teams in the NBA. They surely are the two best teams in the East, though. So it's fun to watch.
Yeah, we'll keep you covered with what's going on in NBA playoffs as we return next week. Talking some more basketball, local high school basketball. Big news broke this week. Paul Sawsville stepping down as head coach of the Walker Valley Lady Mustang basketball program, reported by Joe Cannon of the Cleveland Daily Banner. And then it was quoted here that getting the opportunity to not only continue his education, but to also return to the collegiate classroom as an instructor. Paul Sawsville is stepping down after just 2 years of coaching the Walker Valley Lady Mustang basketball team. Once again, that's Joe Cannon of the Cleveland Daily Banner reporting that. So, Walker Valley in the news today a little bit.
Walker Valley has been in the news a lot here, but no, I think, Paul Sawsville, I mean, 2 years, you'd like to see someone's a little bit more stability there. But, I mean, you can't blame him if he feels like the opportunity is better to leave than to stay. But be interesting to see what they do from this point, too.
Yeah, definitely looking to the future. Jeremy Jones, a new principal. He's going to have to, first thing, find him a girls basketball coach. So definitely when you're going through that process, you want to hire somebody that you're going to get some longevity out of, without a doubt.
Yeah, listen, there's a lot of candidates I know in this area that would be probably really good candidates. You've got people that are, familiar with the program, and they may hire someone that's familiar with the Walker Valley program, or they may hire someone from not in this area. Who knows? I mean, I'm sure the resumes are going to be, flying in, and they'll be doing some interviews just like he went through. So it's a process. We'll see what happens.
Rumor on the street: Steve Hartline is getting his resume together right now to go lead the Walker Valley Lady Mustang basketball program. I don't know.
Steve Hartline leading the yeah, that would be interesting.
He's taken a lot of notes from being a UCLA basketball fan over the years.
Yep. Yeah, I know about that for sure.
But hey, the 151st running of the Kentucky Derby Saturday. Excited about that. Listen, horse racing is one of my favorite events to just randomly tune into and be a fan of 2 or 3 times a year, every year.
I used to really be into the Kentucky Derby, and then I kind of got out of it. But here in the last few years, my wife, myself, my brother, and some other friends of ours, we'll get together and we'll watch it, and we'll do a little wagering just for fun, and it's always fun to fun. Now I'll say this: I've heard, and I don't know if the forecast is still like this, but apparently it's supposed to be raining, and if that's the case, then you get the mud factor, and some horses are what they call mudders, and others are not. So if it does rain, the odds, I'm sure, will change drastically if it is a sloppy track, if you will. Have you ever been to a horse race?
I have not, and the Kentucky Derby is on my bucket list. I definitely want to go sometime.
I have been to a horse race once, years and years ago, a track outside of Cincinnati. It was called Laconia, I believe it was. I've heard of it. I don't think the track's there anymore. I think they've torn it down. But I went to a horse race, or actually multiple horse races there. It was fun. I had no clue. I didn't bet or anything. I was just there observing. I went there with a friend, and but there are people really, really into that sport. Yeah. Me personally, I'm just a novice. I enjoy it, but there's not a bigger horse race in this country than the Kentucky Derby. It's kind of like the Daytona 500. It's the biggest race in NASCAR. It's the first race of the year. Even though we got the Triple Crown, you got the
Belmont Stakes,
and then you got the Preakness.
Yep.
Well, I think the Preakness is second, then the Belmont last. But the first one is the biggest one, the Kentucky Derby. That's the one everyone remembers. So it'll be fun to see how it all transpires tomorrow. I think last I saw, there's going to be 19 horses in it. Now, I'll promise you this: if it's a very rainy, muddy, you'll see some.
It's a crowded
scratches.
field. Yeah,
you'll get some scratches there because there's some owners don't want their horses out there. Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah. Once again, the 151st running of the Kentucky Derby Saturday, post time at tradition at 6:57. Yep. So excited to tune in and watch that coverage. We'll begin at noon on USA and Peacock. Before heading over to NBC and Peacock for the 2:30 live coverage there on cable television. Yeah. So, yeah, definitely looking forward to that. And listen, Kentucky's got to have something going for them, right? They got the Kentucky Derby.
They got the Kentucky. I mean, listen, Kentucky Wildcat basketball fans are running off the road right now. Going, what are you crazy? Thinks it's the greatest program in history. I've got some cousins that live up in Kentucky, and they are. It's all about the Big Blue Nation up there.
Yeah, it is.
It's all basketball
and horse racing. That's what it is.
It is. It's all about Big Blue basketball.
I just said that for our Tennessee listeners to make them smile a little bit.
It is what it
is. And really, and you being a big Cincinnati fan, Bengals, Reds fan, like Kentucky is Cincinnati territory. There a lot of Reds fans, a lot of Bengals fans there in Kentucky.
A lot of people from the state of Ohio, they say, yeah, Cincinnati, Kentucky. It's more. It feels more like a city in Kentucky.
Yeah, down there on the very southern point of the state. Yeah. And I've talked about this on the show before. Going up to Cincinnati for the All-Star Game and Home Run Derby, I believe it was either 2014, 2015, was such a fun experience. And getting to go up there and actually spend time, because the only other time I'd been up there was when Ken Griffey Jr., Barry Larkin, and that version of the Reds were playing baseball, and that was back at old Synergy Field.
Yep. You got to see Todd Frazier win the home run
what a home run derby that was.
It was cool.
It was the first one with the time clock.
Yep.
And Todd Frazier put on an absolute comeback show.
He did, man. At the very end, he won it, and of course in front of the home crowd, which is cool. I mean, Frazier.
Everybody in that place was cheering for him, though, even if they weren't Reds fans, just because he was the hometown guy.
Yeah, that was cool. I would have loved to have been up there then. So, yeah, Cincinnati, like I said, it's my hometown. But man, I've been down here. I consider Cleveland, Tennessee, is my hometown now. Even though I wasn't physically born here, I've lived here, 7/8 of my life. So this is my hometown.
That's it.
I'm a Cleveland, Tennessee guy all the way.
From the Natty to the land, right?
That's right. Or some people around here call it Clee Vegas. We've heard it called Clee Vegas.
Yeah, I'm not one of those guys.
Yeah, well, that back in the day.
I know that was sad. That was.
Back in the day.
Hey, the Worth 400 presented by Liqua Moly at Texas Motor Speedway is Sunday at 3:30, and you'll be able to hear our friends over at Finish Line Radio next Wednesday recap that NASCAR race. That's what's going on this Sunday. So, listen, big show, a lot going on. Obviously, high school baseball, high school softball, kicking off their district tournaments yesterday and today. So we're going to get you some update on some of the coverage for those as we get that, because weather is an issue. I'm sure we're going to have some delayed starts or possibly some cancellations. As a matter of fact, as we're talking, so this is a by the way, Steve said count me in on the head coaching job. He's going to go with the baby blues and golds just like UCLA.
Oh, my gosh.
You know, Walker Valley's transitioned to using that baby blue a lot more than just the navy and the gold. They use that baby blue a lot, especially on the court.
I get that. I'm one of these traditional guys where don't mess with the team colors. But listen, I'm in the minority there. I mean, these days you see Ole Miss bringing out the powder blue, and I'm like, you're navy and red, man. Where does this royal blue come from? I'm old school when it comes to that stuff. Hey, it is what it is.
So, hey, we do have a quick update here going over to the high school softball circuit. Today's game between Walker Valley and McMinn County has been canceled and rescheduled for Sunday at 3 p.m. So weather definitely affecting high school softball. No word on what's going on with Bradley softball or Cleveland softball yet. I know that Cleveland and Ray County were originally scheduled to play today at 5:30 at Cleveland, and we will try to get you an update on that as soon as we can. When we come back, we're going to fill you in on everything that's going on high school baseball tonight. All game twos. Last night, let's go ahead and start at the top here. We had a lot of good success here locally for our high school baseball teams. Cleveland had a big win over Ray County 8-0, and junior starting pitcher Owen Golio had a one-hit shutout for the Blue Raiders. So big night for Golio and the Cleveland Blue Raiders as they win game one of that series with Ray County. And Bradley last night, 3-1 win over East Hamilton. And the story here seems to be starting pitching, because junior Tyler Cook, a complete game for the Bears, only allowed 4 hits, had 8 strikeouts. And then when you go over to Walker Valley, the 3 seed, won game 1 against McMinn, the 2 seed, 6-1 senior pitcher Titus Torbett, only allowed 4 hits, 1 run, 10 strikeouts, and recorded his 100th strikeout of the season as well. So
think about that. You had 3 local teams, the opposition 11 total hits between those 3 opponents. So, yeah, listen.
Only 2 runs scored between those 3 opponents.
In baseball, you're only as good as your starting pitcher.
Pitching.
Great pitching will shut down great hitting almost every single time. So good for these guys.
Yeah, again, Walker Valley was set to play McMinn at 6 o'clock. From the last I heard, that game was going to be moved a little bit earlier. We're going to get confirmation on that and make sure, but that game was set for first pitch at 6 o'clock. Again, game 2, Walker Valley leading that series 1-0. And then Cleveland and Ray County, the last conversation I had with the athletic director, Al Morris, is that it was on and they were playing. So that game also was set to be a 6 o'clock first pitch, and I believe they moved that up to 5:30 as well. So Cleveland leading that series 1-0.
And listen, we all know how the weather is in our area. It might be pouring rain right here in where our studio's sitting, but on the other side of the county, it could be just cloudy and very light rain. So we can't sit here and say, "Oh, it's pouring down rain here, so it's washed out." That's not the case this time of year.
Well, some more breaking news: the game tonight between Walker Valley and McMinn, again up there in Athens at McMinn County High School, has been canceled. So that game will be rescheduled. As soon as that is rescheduled, we will get that information out to you. And we're still waiting to hear on that Bradley East Hamilton weekend game as well. Game 2 tonight was scheduled for 7 p.m. Down there at East Hamilton High School. So we're going to continue to get updates on these as they come in, and we will fill you guys in. Appreciate you listeners tuning in, especially during this time of the year when a lot of softball, high school baseball, getting into the postseason. Hey, producer E, one of our guys, part of that Blue Raider team that's had a really good year. So definitely pulling for all 3 of our local teams as they navigate through the district tournament here to get things started. With that, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have the head coach of the Walker Valley Girls Flag football team, Tyler Pope, joining the show because some big news for them. They're advancing to the state tournament after a big win last night. We'll be right back here on ESPN Cleveland 101.3.
The Drive will be back after a quick timeout. Stay tuned for more nonstop sports talk on The Drive, presented by Hardees.
You can't run, you can't hide, but you can drive. Drive away from your credit challenges today at Kia Cleveland on South Lee Highway. This is John Davis at Kia Cleveland announcing our credit forgiveness event. Our lenders will forgive your credit sins and your misdeeds and say yes to you and yes to financing your dream car. Plus, we'll take any trade in any condition and give you $7,000 over Kelly Blue Book fair value toward the purchase of any new Kia Sorento EX in our huge inventory. That's right, $7,000 more than your trade is worth. Don't forget it. I'll beat any deal from anywhere in Georgia, Tennessee, or Alabama. Drive away from your credit challenges today and come see me, John Davis, during our credit forgiveness event at Kia Cleveland on South Lee Highway in beautiful Cleveland, Tennessee, where getting approved is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Looking for the dealer who's gonna give you more. Kia of Cleveland Superstore.
Subject to lender approval. Offers don't combine. Expires month end.
KiaofCleveland.com.
Hardee's Original Bag packs 2 full-size favorites, plus fries and a drink starting at $5.99. Pair any 2 items. Choose from a charbroiled double cheeseburger, hot ham and cheese, or hand-breaded chicken tender wrap. Or choose 2 double cheeseburgers for just $1 more. A great big bag of original goodness starting at just $5.99. Only at Hardee's. Download the Hardee's app and join My Rewards for special offers. These items only, tax not included. Price and participation may vary.
Got an injury that just can't wait? There's no need to delay your care. Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics is excited to announce that our Urgent Ortho Walk-In Clinic is now available on Saturdays at the Gun Barrel Road location. Open from 8 to noon, we're here to treat sprains, strains, fractures, and more. No appointment needed. So skip the long ER wait and get specialized orthopedic care fast. Visit us this Saturday at Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics Urgent Ortho. We're the center for expert care right when you need it. Learn more at sportmed.com.
ESPN Cleveland 101.3 is powered by Duracell.
This is Thomas Williams with Mountain View Nissan of Cleveland. Stop by today and take advantage of Bradley County's largest pre-owned inventory, or visit cleveland-nissan.com, home of the lifetime warranty.
Do your legs feel heavy, tired, or achy? Dr. James Gooden at Milligan Vein offers an office treatment that can make you look and feel better, and your procedure is covered by most insurance. Visit milliganvein.com or call Dr. Gooden today at 423-961-5682.
Hi, I'm Pastor James Sears from Mount Olive Ministries. We understand that today, more than ever, that we live in, well, let's just say a fast-paced world with overcrowded schedules. With work weeks that can last up to 55 hours, kids' games, and long weekends, sometimes it's hard to fit everything you want to do in one week. But that doesn't mean that you have to miss out on church. No matter where you are or what's going on in your life, there's still a way for you to stay connected. We'd love to see you in person each week, but for those weekends when you can't, Mount Olive Ministries offers live streaming every Sunday morning at 11 a.m. through our website and Facebook account. You can still participate in worship, giving, and hearing the Word of God by tuning in. And if by some chance you can't watch at exactly 11 a.m., feel free to go back and view it anytime. You can check us out at mountoolivecog.org or on Facebook by searching for Mount Olive Ministries. We look forward to you worshiping with us soon.
Welcome back to The Drive, presented by Hardees. Join the conversation. Text 423-749-1013. You can also listen anywhere on our website, ESPNCleveland1013.com.
Welcome back to The Drive here in beautiful Cleveland, Tennessee. I hope everyone out there is having a great Friday. Hey, Duracell, our neighbors across the street, they are now hiring mechanical skilled technicians at $22.17 to $27 per hour. Excellent benefits beginning day one. Medical, dental, and vision insurance, paid vacation, holiday pay, 401k, tuition reimbursement, and more. Apply at Duracell.com. That's Duracell.com.
Man, I tell you what, Jim is carrying me today. I'm running on fumes over here.
Well, I don't believe that. I promise you this man's got more energy than I got.
Well, hey, listen, talking about energy, there's some big energy, obviously, with Walker Valley on this show today because we've had a lot of Walker Valley Mustang coverage for multiple reasons. But now I believe we've got the head coach of the Walker Valley Girls Flag Football Program, Coach Tyler Pope, on air with us. Coach, are you there?
Yeah, I got you guys. Can you hear me?
Awesome. Yes, we've got you. Appreciate you coming on with us today. And big news last night. Obviously, you guys had a big win there in your district over Cleveland to qualify for the state tournament in girls flag football. Just kind of talk about last night and what's to come for your girls flag football program.
Well, I'll tell you, when I did this, coaching Friday nights, I was like, guys, this is going to be far less stressful. And then last night, Cleveland scores the first play of the game in the district championship game, and I was like, oh gosh, I don't know, we may lose this one playing them 5 or 6 times. But that whole mindset I've had about, well, I'm not going to stress, that quickly went out the window, and I lost a couple years last night in a close one, getting the win 13-7 versus Cleveland.
So, Coach, let me ask you this. Where do you go from here? Who's your next opponent, and when will it be?
All right, so we play Wednesday. We have pool play on Wednesday, and that'll seed for bracket on Thursday. Right now, we're still awaiting the results of one of our districts. But right now, the other 2 pool play games we'll have is Zell Harding and Jackson North Side. So we'll figure out the third game, and then after that, we'll seed for Thursday, and it'll be single elimination from there.
Yeah, hey, Coach, again, we appreciate you taking the time to join us today. If you could, just kind of fill our listeners in on really girls flag football in general. I know we've talked to you here at the station on mixed mornings before, but for any of our new listeners or anyone that might have missed that, just kind of talk about how this program got started, how you kind of got involved with heading it up at Walker Valley specifically, and just the state of girls flag football and its pace of growth here in the state of Tennessee.
Yeah, so, this is a sport that's growing rapidly. I think right now, I've heard the stat that this is potentially the fastest growing girls sport in the United States right now. Obviously the NFL has been a big part of that. The NFL is pushing for girls flag football to become a varsity sport in all 50 states. I had the big Super Bowl commercial back in February, pushing, for each state to make that a thing. And so with that being said, we've known for a couple of years that this was potentially going to become a sport. And, when I was hearing the rumors of that, I was like, hey, guys, if this ever becomes a real sport, a varsity sport, like I want to be the head coach. I've got a chance to watch our girls play powder puff over the years, and I see we have phenomenal athletes that play a lot of different sports. I'm like, man, all these girls would be great at this. And in December, there was kind of on the fence if we were going to have a team or not at Walker Valley, and I went to Dr. Belt and Mike Turner, athletic director, said, hey, if we can do this, I would love to do this. I'd love to, take this sport on. And so January 3rd, I was like, hey, you're going to be the head coach. And so it's been a mad scramble since January. First of all, just trying to figure out how we were going to function and finance the team. And then also recruiting girls to play. And I just promised them, like, hey, girls, if you'll try this, we'll have fun. I promise. I was like, I don't want to put pressure on you. I know this isn't probably your primary sport right now. But I was like, hey, I just give me a chance. Like, come out. We're gonna practice short, and I don't care what your primary sport is. Like, come give it a chance. And it's really cool to see. We've got girls from all backgrounds. We've got girls in chamber choir, all the way to track, basketball, cheerleading, soccer, and everything in between. So it's been really cool, and that's what the girls have talked about the most is they're getting to play with girls that they never would have played with if it wasn't for this sport. So it's been a really cool journey for our team and our school. I'm really excited that we were able to do this in year one.
We're talking with Tyler Pope, the Walker Valley head flag football coach. All right, Coach, so tell our listeners out there, what are the field dimensions? How many players on the field? How many downs? Give us all that part of it, if you would.
Okay. So there's a lot. So I had to learn. I coach tackle football. I'm the offensive coordinator at Walker Valley. And so I was like, hey, this is like football. No, it's a little different, but some of the rules still apply. It's 7-on-7. Your center is even eligible for a pass, so every player on the field is eligible to catch the ball. The field is a little smaller, which is great because it makes it really exciting. It puts the girls in kind of a tighter, quarter and makes them play a little bit faster. So it's a 40-yard wide field. We mark that essentially from the bottom of the numbers to the bottom of the numbers on the field. It's 80 yards long. So your end zones are from the 10-yard line to the front of the goal line there. So it's a little bit tighter field. It still works on 4 downs. We don't have any special teams. There's no kicking game involved. So we elect to punt. The officials walk it off 30 yards. And the biggest thing that was hard for me and hard for our girls is it's not a 1st and 10, metric. It's zones. There's 20-yard zones on the field. And so, you get a first down and you're halfway in the zone. Well, it's 1st and 10 in the middle of the zone. Whereas if you get 1 yard in the zone and get a first down, it's 1st and 19. So there's some strategic advantages there that you have to, and disadvantages that you have to take advantage of. So it's been really cool, and it's obviously my mind's had to be a little bit different from a play caller perspective because of these rules. So it's been really fun.
Yeah, Coach, if you could kind of talk about the makeup of this season for you guys. I know that you said it was a scramble early. We even joked around and we're talking today about having to order uniforms on the fly and get what you could get, which, first of all, you guys have some great-looking Nike uniforms up there. But if you could just kind of talk about your regular season schedule. I know you mentioned today that you guys played Cleveland a lot, and it seemed that series got more and more competitive with each passing game. Kind of talk about the path to where we are now.
Well, so just kind of, back to the uniforms, and then I'll kind of get into the season. So we got, I was scrambling to get uniforms. First thing, hey, I got to get uniforms. And I promised the girls that I'm recruiting, like, hey, I promise I'm going to put you in the best gear I possibly can. It's going to look great. We're going to look great. And the girls are like, I don't know, because they don't know me. I don't have that relationship with me yet. And they learned really quickly, like, Coach Pope's not going to put them in bad-looking uniforms. So we made sure we took care of them, put them in Nike uniforms. But it was a scramble because, we're trying to – there's no such thing as a flag football uniform, right? So we're having to order Nike soccer gear and things like that. So it ended up working out really well. But when we went and started scheduling, we had our district, which ended up being only 5 teams this year. And the next closest opponents are out of district or, on the plateau. You got teams like Stone Memorial and Bledsoe and the really far distance to travel just to play a game. White County, things like that are some of our closest non-district opponents. And so we, early in the year, we're a little late to get started. I was like, hey, Cleveland, I know you're in our district, but, like, our girls just need to play. And we tried to get up to our team, couldn't make it happen. So we played 2 non-district games to start the year versus them. And that was the most rookie first-year head coach mistake I could possibly make because, of course, Cleveland's very talented. Their coaches are very good. They've done a great job this year. And, when you play a team that good, that talented, that well coached, it's hard to beat them multiple times. And so we ended up having to play them 5 times, the 5th time being in the district championship. So we ended up playing 14 games in total this year. So we went 14-0.
Wow.
The state only allowed you to play 16. So we were just 2 shy of our max games. I'm really looking forward to next year just because this year Hamilton County played in the fall. And it looks like next year we're going to have all the schools, all the counties playing in the same season in the spring. So that should make scheduling much easier for us, and hopefully we don't have to play Cleveland 18 times.
All right, Coach Pope, a question here. We all know that in regular football, you got some teams are just better at passing the ball, and other teams are better at running the ball. What are you good at? And is the ball itself a little smaller than a regulation football?
That's a great question. That's a question I get a lot. Hey, I have several people asking me, like, hey, what size football do you use? What size do you use? High school football. We use a middle school football, so it is a little bit smaller, which is great because our girls' hands are obviously a little bit smaller than a high school boy. So they do use a little bit smaller of a football. We are, and man, I'll tell you, this evolved. I spent a lot of time studying Georgia state playoff games. And I came across a team, and I was like, man, I think we can do this. To be completely honest with you, we've grown at throwing the football, but we weren't very good early on, which is something that I expected us to do. We're inconsistent. This isn't something that they've done naturally a lot on their own. So we're inconsistent at throwing and catching the ball. So we ended up developing essentially a triple option offense.
Awesome.
And, man, it's exciting to watch.
I'm a big fan of that, by the way.
Same here.
And then we developed some passes off of that. And as the season's progressed, we've really honed in and focused on being able to throw the football vertically because teams started, taking away our option game. And so we've really gotten to a point where we're really well balanced. Our quarterback has done an amazing job. She's a sophomore, Kaya Young. She's a basketball player, and I'll never forget I was watching her in a basketball game, and she picked up the ball on rebound and swung it full court. And I was like, okay.
There's our quarterback.
There's a quarterback, right? I was like, so I ended up spending a lot of time at a lot more girls' sports. And listen, I've met some girls I didn't know existed in our schools that are amazing athletes, amazing students, just amazing people. Really fun to be around every day. So it's been a really cool journey so far.
Now, Coach Pope, let me ask you, is flag football not going to be in the Olympics coming up soon?
Yes, it is going to be. I think this next Olympic cycle is supposed to be on there.
Yeah.
From everything that I've been told, it's growing. It's a really fun, exciting sport. And no disrespect to other girls' sports. I love girls' basketball, volleyball, it's all soccer, especially is extremely exciting. This is one of the most exciting girls' sports. If you haven't watched it, you need to try to catch a game at some point. And the girls, man, they play really, really hard. It's really fun to watch.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe we'll see a Lady Mustang in the Olympics playing some flag football at some point.
That would be cool.
I tell you, Lila Sims could do it. She is a ball player.
Yeah, hey, real quick.
She's a running back defensive player for us. So.
Yeah, while we have you for a little bit longer here, talk to us about some individuals, starting with Lila.
Yeah, so Lila Sims, she was a junior. She's a junior. She plays soccer at Walker Valley. She plays basketball at Walker Valley. She's a little bit misdo at everything, and I talked to her early on in the process, and I watched her play Powder Puff last year as a sophomore, and I was like, hey, Lila, if we have a team, you got to play for me. And she was like, I don't know if I'm going to play, and I just kept on her, and we had a good relationship. I had her in class, and finally she relented. She's like, hey, I'll come try it. I'll come to a practice. I'll try it. And she came out, and she fell in love with it, and she's just a ball player. That energy and effort and just, we talk about it in football all the time, that dog mentality. And I tell her all the time, like, wow, you're a dog. Like, you play so hard. And she loves that. That soccer mentality, man. It translates so well to flag football, and she's very aggressive, and it's really cool to see how it translates over to the football field.
Well, this is really cool stuff. I'm going to have to check this out because it sounds like a fun sport to watch. And, the fact that you guys run the triple option, I'm all about that, man. That's old school football to me. And how about the blocking? What is legal? What is illegal when it comes to the blocking?
So that was a big question, too. I know they've done Powder Puff, several years ago. They've had several teams here that play, and they had, full offensive line. You can only block behind the line of scrimmage. And that's essentially pass blocking or screen blocking.
Right.
A legal block in flag football for under our current rules is essentially the same as a basketball screen. So their feet have to be set. They can't, get their shoulder out or get their leg out in front of a pass rusher. So there's really no downfield blocking. Just like in tackle football, we get creative. and we do some things that, kind of skirt the rules, but for the most part, there's really no blocking downfield just behind the line of scrimmage trying to protect the quarterback.
No legal chip blocking.
No. Unfortunately, there's a couple times I'm like, man, this would be way easier if I could just block for real.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something, Coach. Is misdirection a big thing in your league, playing like reverses and whatnot?
Man, listen, go on YouTube. Walker Valley, AV production, they did a broadcast of our game a couple weeks ago against Silverdale and Bradley. Part of that triple option, man, we're doing it. We're bringing girls in motion. We're handing it to them. We're reversing it. We're reverse passing it. We're doing everything we can to we talk about it all the time in football. And tackle football is like, I don't have to be smarter than the coach on the sideline. I just got to be smarter than that 16-year-old girl over there.
There you go.
Well, and so we try to get girls to bite on eye candy and things like that, just like you would in tackle. And it's really hard for girls to be disciplined. I think that's one thing that we've been really simple on defense. We're a split 4 cover 3, and we know our roles. Our alley defenders know their flat defenders. Our corners know their deep defenders. We don't change up a whole lot, and that's made us extremely successful because we don't bite on those misdirections. But to answer your question, the misdirection game is really kind of what we're all about with our triple option offense.
Yeah, Walker Valley girls flag football head coach Tyler Pope over here sounding more like Tom Osborne the more we talk with him. But, Hey, Coach, listen, we really appreciate you taking the time to come on with us today here on The Drive, and wish you guys all the best as you head up to, I believe, Murfreesboro, correct, for the state tournament next week.
Yes, sir. Yeah, well, I appreciate you guys having me on. I'm trying to be the best advocate I can for girls flag football right now. Like I said, it's such an exciting sport. Our girls have done a tremendous job. I told them last night after they won the district, I said, hey, you guys, I'm so proud of you, but the biggest thing is you guys are good football players. And they looked at me like, oh my gosh, we're football players. I'm like, yeah, you girls are football players now. So it's been really fun. I appreciate it.
That's awesome. Coach Tyler Pope, girls head flag football coach at Walker Valley High School, joining The Drive. Appreciate you, man, and we wish you all the best this next week, and look forward to chatting with you again here in the future.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
All right, see you, Coach.
Thank you, man.
Hey, real quick, we've got a update on that Cleveland High School baseball game. Again, they're playing Ray County in Game 2 of that series tonight. They are set and still on to start here in 15 minutes. 6 o'clock start up there at Bill Talley Stadium on the campus of Cleveland High School.
Well, hopefully they got the tarp on there in the field. The infield's going to be doable. We all know the outfield's going to be a little sloppy, but hey, you know what? It's sloppy for both teams. So hopefully they can get that game in.
Yeah, with that, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back here on The Drive to talk some Atlanta Braves baseball here in just a minute.
The Drive will be back after a quick timeout. Stay tuned for more nonstop sports talk on The Drive, presented by Hardees.
Hardees is hiring. Join the Star Team. Flexible scheduling, daily pay, free meals, 20% family discount, plus paid vacation for part-time and full-time employees. Apply in-store or online at hardees.com today.
We tend not to think about right now, but right now in front of us is victory over cancer. Right now, cancer research funded by the V Foundation is leading to better treatments and saving lives. When you give to the V Foundation, 100% of your donation goes directly to game-changing cancer research. Victory over cancer is there for the taking. By you. Donate at V.org. Because today's cancer research is tomorrow's victory.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Don't miss the Paul Feinbaum Show, weekday afternoons from 2 until 5 on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. Always topical, always entertaining. Paul Feinbaum on ESPN Cleveland 101.3, presented by Hardees.
Imagine a truck that doesn't just own the road, it dominates it. It's not just about the destination, it's about the journey. And our new GMC Sierra is elevating every moment of that journey for me. It's not just a truck, it's a lifestyle. Don Ledford didn't just sell me a truck. They saw the lifestyle I wanted, and they found me that truck.
Got an injury that just can't wait? There's no need to delay your care. Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics is excited to announce that our Urgent Ortho Walk-In Clinic is now available on Saturdays at the Gun Barrel Road location. Open from 8 to noon, we're here to treat sprains, strains, fractures, and more. No appointment needed. So skip the long ER wait and get specialized orthopedic care fast. Visit us this Saturday at Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics Urgent Ortho. We're the center for expert care right when you need it. Learn more at sportmed.com.
Hey guys, this is Dan Good from Crown. Just reminding you that Crown Jeep is Cleveland and Bradley County's Jeep headquarters.
Checking the Cash is your one-stop money shop and has been helping customers with cash solutions since 1993. If you're short on cash and need a little help to overcome a financial hurdle, we're here for you. Our Chattanooga area stores, including Cleveland and Athens, offer payday loans and flex line of credit options. We understand that doing the research for these loans can be overwhelming. That's why we strive to make the application process simple and convenient. We also provide quick in-store services like check cashing, money orders, wire transfers, and even gift card buyback. Want to learn more about your options? Visit our website at checkandtocash.com. Our lending decisions are made quickly, and if approved, you can have cash in hand. Take the first step toward a bright financial future. We're here to help. Not all consumers will qualify. Eligibility, rates, terms, and conditions apply. Rates, restrictions, and fees apply to store services. Please call or visit your local store for details.
The annual Scott Basketball Camp is coming up soon. Don't miss out on this free camp for boys and girls from the ages of 8 through 15. This year's camp will again be at Bradley Central High School from Tuesday, July 22nd through Friday, July the 24th from 9 to 12 noon each day. There will be an emphasis on basketball skills with former and current Bradley players and coaches, along with life lessons about character and personal responsibility with special guest speakers. Students will be provided with free lunch each day. Registration is limited, so sign up soon for this free camp at letscamps.com so you don't miss out. Please visit this website to register and to see how you can donate this very worthy cause so that we can continue off this camp that is free to everyone. That's letscamps, letscamps.com.
Welcome back to The Drive, presented by Hardees. Join the conversation. Text 423-749-1013. You can also listen anywhere on our website, ESPNCleveland1013.com.
Turn your freezer into your own personal ice cream shop with Mayfield Dairy's latest product, the Sunday Delights Ice Cream Cups, now available in 5 flavors: peanut butter candy pieces, cookies and cream, original chocolate fudge, original caramel, and original fudge. Mayfield Dairy.
Sounds like a plan to me. Boy, I really enjoyed that interview we had with Coach Pope. 7-on-7, the field's 40 by 80 yards. I love this. It's 20-yard zones, not like 1st and 10. It says that just sounds cool.
First and forever is what it feels like when you just get that into that next zone. I'd say
when it's 7-on-7, you know you've got a lot fewer kids out there, so the field looks more wide open. So I bet it's fun to watch. I'm gonna have to take in one of these games. I bet I would love it.
Yeah, I really would enjoy seeing like the flea flickered plays and stuff like that, which I'm sure are a lot more prominent in flag football.
Oh, the misdirection stuff's gonna be. It's all about misdirection.
More rugby style than anything, I would think.
And then you got to grab that flag, man. You got to grab that flag. So yeah, that sounds like a fun sport. So great interview there.
Yeah, Coach Pope doing a great job up there with the Lady Mustang flag football team. Hey, we've got another update on the Cleveland-Ray County baseball game. They're currently, the start time was set for 6 o'clock pre-first pitch. There's been a lightning delay. So I do know, I'm going to tell you this. This is inside information you're getting right here on The Drive. But Coach Tucker and Athletic Director Al Morris were adamant they're going to do everything they can to get this game in tonight. So hang around, be patient with them. It looks like there is going to be a window between all this weather that we're getting. But currently, that 6 o'clock start time is going to get pushed back a little bit as they are under a lightning delay there at Bill Talley Stadium on the campus of Cleveland High School. So, hey, real quick, we got to go ahead and go over and talk some Atlanta Braves here.
Yep.
As we're approaching the end of the show. Obviously, Mayfield Dairy, huge supporter of Atlanta Braves here on The Drive, and all of our coverage brought to you by Mayfield Dairy. So real quick, Wednesday, Braves, another series win, but could not wrap up the sweep. That's something I need to get the brooms out a little bit. Hopefully they can get that figured out. They ended up losing the last game of that series with Colorado 2-1, despite a solid outing from Chris Sale, who ended up going 7 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs with 10 strikeouts. The bats just kind of went cold in that game.
Well, the Braves, like I said, they got beat by a team that had only won 4 games for the whole season up until that point. Now, granted, the Rockies have won 2 straight, so they're hot.
Well, the first 2 games of that series with the Rockies, the Braves had 28 hits.
Yeah.
28 hits in those 2 games, 14 in each game, and the offense was just rolling. Unfortunately, that last game just couldn't find a hit when they needed it. It went 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position. But the good news is Atlanta is on they're already back. Yesterday was the travel day. Made their way back to Truist Park as they get ready to start this series with the team that everyone's kind of saying is the favorite right now, odds as far as winning the World Series, in the Los Angeles Dodgers. And a very highly anticipated series because the Braves are playing good baseball right now. The Dodgers are 21-10 and first in the National League West. And, of course, anytime Freddie Freeman makes his way back, that's going to make for good TV.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of Freeman jerseys in the stands tonight for sure. Now, I'll tell you this. I did look this up. The Dodgers are 1 game under 500 on the road. So they make their hay at Dodger Stadium, but they're beatable. So here the Braves are coming back home. The Braves are playing much better at home than they are on the road as well. So, I think the Braves have an opportunity to win 2 out of 3.
Yeah, Braves currently 14-16 on the year, trying to get to that 500 point. Yeah. And they would be the quickest team ever. If they can do that in this series against the Dodgers, they would be the quickest team to ever start the season 0-7 to reach 500.
That's interesting. I did not know that. That's pretty good stuff there. So, listen, we all know that Freddie Freeman was a fan favorite there. So anytime you get him back in the stands, there's going to be a really – he always gets a good ovation. Listen, this guy was the catalyst for the Atlanta Braves winning that World Series in 2021. So people remember that. He was a fan favorite back then. So – but, he's wearing the Dodger gray, if you will, tonight. So at some point, you're glad he was a former Brave, but you want to get him out every time he comes
They'll
up.
cheer for him during pregame, and then when he comes up to the plate that first at bat, the boos will start.
You want to get him out.
Yeah, because the Braves fans are passionate. And being one of those passionate Braves fans myself, I'll tell you, whenever that all went down with him going to L.A., which, we had a lot of coverage here on the drive over that. One thing that I did, the very first thing I did whenever Alex Anthopoulos made that move for Matt Olson and Freddie Freeman went to the Dodgers, really Freddie's agent put him in a spot, put Braves country in a spot where a relationship was ruined as far as being able to continue that relationship. Very first thing I did, went and got a Matt Olson jersey. Yeah. This is a guy who I hope, and Jacob and I talked about this yesterday, I hope Matt Olson has a phenomenal series. It seems like he's really been one of the leaders on this team as of late, kind of, even to the media, sparking some conversation saying we got to get our crap together, basically. And he used some other terms. But I'm fired up about the opportunity he has to showcase how good of a first baseman he is while Freddie Freeman's standing right there.
And I'm going to bet I know the answer to this before I ask you, but I think most Braves fans do this. Whenever Matt Olson and Freddie Freeman are on the field at the same time, there's a comparison going on.
Oh, absolutely.
You're sitting there going, all right, Freddie Freeman went, in this series, he went, 6-4, 12, but Matt Olson hit 3 home runs.
Yes.
What would you, there's going to be that.
And they're different players. They're very different players.
They are.
Both excellent defenders. Great. Yeah. They play first base. Both of them are phenomenal at first base defensively. As far as hitters, Matt Olson is more of a power guy.
Much more power.
Yeah, he's got a swing that when he swings the bat, you feel it in the first couple rows of the stands. Mm-hmm. Freddie Freeman, he is going to try to hit the ball opposite field when you pitch him away. He uses the full field, and every once in a while he'll run into one and get a homer, but he's more of a doubles guy. So
in that World Series last year, everyone remembers that grand slam he hit, and he's such a clutch guy. That's the one thing that Freddie Freeman has been his entire career, is when you've got to have a hit. He comes through more often than not. Now, not everyone has that gift. It is a gift. It's like he just bears down just a little bit more. But, man, when Matt Olson's hot, there's not a more dangerous player in the whole National League that when he gets on those hot streaks from time to time. Now, he gets on
He
those
goes
cold
on some
streaks,
cold ones, too.
But, man, when he's hot, forget it. I don't want anything to do with this guy. Pitch around him, you know.
Yeah, when he's hot, it's blazing hot, and hopefully he's able to get that going tonight. First pitch, 7:15. Grant Holmes on the mound for the Braves. He's 2-1 on the year with a 4.5 ERA, and Yamamoto for the Los Angeles Dodgers. They talk about a guy that's one heck of a pitcher. 3-2 on the season with a 1.06 ERA.
That's serious, right there.
Yeah, that's being able to command the zone is what that is. You can catch the game tonight again, 7:15 first pitch on Mix 104.1 and right here on ESPN Cleveland 101.3 pre and post game shows here on ESPN Cleveland as well. All presented by Mountain View Nissan of Cleveland. So excited for the Braves to get this series with the Dodgers. I mean, when you think about the past, really since 2020, maybe even 2019, I believe 2019 was the year where Acuna beat him. Was it in the I think it was 2019.
I don't remember the year.
When Acuna hit the grand slam.
Was it 20? Were there fans in the stands or was there empty? I can't remember.
Yeah, there were fans in the stands.
Okay, then it had to be 20.
Yeah, and I believe that was the NLDS.
Yeah,
when Acuna
right.
hit that grand slam, he was about to get walked and he put the bat on his shoulder,
right.
and they called the strike when the pitch was a foot above the strike zone. Very next pitch, Acuna hits a grand slam. So I believe that was 2019.
I think you're right.
Since 2019, this has kind of been the premier National League series. Like when it comes to, hey, who owns the National League? Now, the Phillies have kind of interrupted a little bit and caused some chaos in that as well. But when you're putting two teams, two absolute, Coach Pope used the term dogs, two dogs against each other, it's Dodgers Braves.
I think they have been the most dominant teams over the last 7 or 8 years for sure. But, so this is a big series. And like I said, I think the Braves, if they can win 2 out of 3, they'll be feeling a lot better about themselves.
Hey, listen, we need to get a championship belt. We need to call one of our local trophy places here and see if they can get Jim Gum a championship belt because, listen, you never know with weather. The Cleveland-Ray County game has been canceled. So we went from
we're getting this game in.
Yeah.
Oops.
Jim even said you can be as adamant as you want to be about getting it in. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. And so Jim needs to get his hand raised and wear the championship belt to finish the week off.
Mother Nature wins again.
Yeah. Yeah, Mother Nature undefeated.
Yep.
So, hey, with that at 6 o'clock, we're out of here for the week. Go out, support your teams if they're playing over the weekend. We'll try to get that stuff out on our social media on ESPN Cleveland so you know when our baseball and softball teams here locally are playing. Of course, Braves tonight, Braves Dodgers, excited about that. Great week, great set of shows, and we appreciate you guys tuning in with us. For Andy Morris, Jim Gum. Jim, you got anything?
Just go Braves.
That's it. Go Braves. Y'all have a great weekend.
Your current Milligan Vane temperature is 78 degrees.
Some mornings call for